Hello, everybody. It's Jennifer Deal again from Keller Williams Elevate with your spring market follow-up update. We're kind of halfway through the spring, and I've read some interesting information about the Cleveland market. I thought that you would be very curious to know as well. So I'm going to share those statistics with you so you can get a big picture idea of what's happening this spring. Now, it's not looking so good for many of our markets across our nation. In fact, we're seeing some major upheavals in some major markets, such as some of the worst markets right now are Miami, Nashville. Let me look at my numbers. Austin, San Antonio, Las Vegas. Oh my goodness. In Miami, sellers are outnumbering buyers by about 150%. What that means is that we have 150% more sellers listings on the market than we have buyers. And so that leads us to a very strong buyer's market in those areas. But unfortunately, that does mean price drops, price drops, price drops. And so for sellers, not good news at all. And we're seeing this happen actually across the nation as a whole, and which is, kind of like unnerving, unless you live in Cleveland, because guess what? We are kind of bucking the trend, and Cleveland is not a buyer's market right now. In fact, we are solidly neutral. And in fact, some of our markets are still sellers markets, which means that they're still getting top dollar for their homes. Now, part of the reason is that, our market is pretty good at avoiding extremes, which is very good for the real estate market, very good for your pocketbook. One of the beautiful things about the Cleveland real estate market is that you can often find homes that are cheaper to purchase than to rent. And it's not that way in a lot of cities. In fact, people just don't purchase because that monthly payment is just so much higher than what they would pay renting. Well, that's not the case here in Cleveland. Often it's about the same, or it's actually a little cheaper to go ahead and buy the house than rent it. So why wouldn't I? And not only that, you're building equity and you're seeing that financial growth for yourself and not for your landlord. Now, a lot of communities are in Cleveland, a lot of our suburbs, especially like Moreland Hills. Hunting Valley, they're both seeing around 9% increases where they're growing, like the values are growing. So while other cities have inventory flooding the market, Cleveland is still very strong. And so there's some reasons because we have the Cleveland Clinic here. We have even in other parts of Ohio, companies like Intel near Columbus, Cincinnati has like 6 Fortune 500 companies. So Ohio is becoming a hot place to move to. I mean, why not? Why not Ohio? The Cleveland medium home price right now is around $150,000. I mean, come on. In Miami, the median $625,000. I mean, who can pay that? You move to Cleveland, you get your own house, you get your own home, you're building wealth for yourself. So this is definitely a time to start looking at Cleveland and all that the city has to offer, the surrounding suburbs. I'm here in Strongsville, love this city. We've got Middleburg Heights, Bay Village, Rocky River, all those on the west side. On the east side, you got University Heights, Cleveland Heights. I mean, there's so many great places to explore, and I would love to take you out looking at some of these neighborhoods if you're thinking about relocating to Cleveland, or if you're looking at selling. I'd love to chat with you about how to get top dollar in this market. Now, it's not a strong seller's market, so you're not just going to be able to name your price. Okay, guys, come on. We still have to work with the buyers. They're going to expect, to get a good value, and they're going to expect to get a home that doesn't need a lot of work too. So we'll go ahead, take a look at your home, tell you what you need to do to get it ready to sell, to make it the most appealing home possible for buyers right now in the market. And I work with a lot of buyers, so I know what they're looking for. Okay, guys. So thankfully, we are in a very strong position here in Cleveland. And, we flipped that Sunbelt city story right now, what's happening in Florida. Oh, I feel really bad for them. Sorry you're not in Cleveland. But, Cleveland has always punched above its weight. I mean, come on, we've got the Cleveland Clinic, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Ohio City, Tremont, amazing in-town places where you can live and be a part of the city life. So I would really love to just walk you through some of the neighborhoods here in Northeast Ohio and just see if there's something that might work for you. We can go take a look at some houses. I can get you more information. Just reach out, give me a call 440-732-2232, and we can share some more information with you about the market and what it's shaping up to look like even coming into this summer. So give me a call. Let's get those showings started, or let's get your home on the market now before things start to shift here in Cleveland, because you never know, right? All right, guys, take care. We'll see you next time.